Hey everybody, Brandon Chega here for week 2 of Mobile Development Frameworks 2. I'm going to go over a quick overview of my code here and then I'll show you guys what the app looks like on the iPad. So here's my friendless view controller, which is the main view controller for the collection view. This is my custom cell, the object that I made for each follower, and then here's my detail view controller. So my friendless view controller I have in the view did load our basic structure to get an account. Gets the current account. If they allow to log in, then I do this method called fetch friends. If not, then it pops up an alert that says user did not allow device to access account. So in my fetch friends here, here's my friend request string, my SL request, and then if the response code comes back good, I create this friend feed, which is an array, and then I create a new array called followers, which is a mutable array, so I can stick items into it. And then for each position in the user array, so this user array I get from right here. So I create an array that is just with the values for the key of users. So this will spit out it's an array of 5, I believe, objects, and one of them is called users. So I create a new array for the users, and then there's 20 of them. So for each iteration, I create a dictionary for each user, which has all their key value pairs, and then I get the screen name and the image URL. I store them in these 2 values, and then I add them to the object, and I'll show you guys that. And then I add the object to my followers array. So this will run 20 times and put each object in, and then I reload the collection view. So in my follower info here, I have an init with name and image string. So that's how I actually create each object. And then I was running into this weird issue where the collection view was loading, but the URL I was passing was nil. So I have it run this test to make sure, just so that the app doesn't crash. And then if it's not nil, it passes them into, or if it's nil, it loads a default image. If it's not nil, then it passes the actual image in. And then inside my collection view cell for row at index path, I have my 2 strings that I get from the object. I create a new cell, and then I have a refresh cell image, which is just like the tutorial, which just assigns them. And then at the very bottom here, I have my segue, so prepare for segue, and then I set up an index path for the collection view to know which one was clicked on. I load the detail view controller, I assign it an index path so it knows which item it was, and then I have these 2 properties for the view controller that when it did load, it assigns those to the actual image and label. So here's my app. I did it on the iPad because I wanted to actually test it, and it does work. So the reason it looks so weird is because these had to be huge to make up for the iPad screen. She only wanted 2 rows. So here's my list of 20 followers. If I click on one of the followers here, it's going to bring up a detail view that just says their username, has their picture, and then I have a close button. So it's just a modal view that pops up. As far as the questions go, what do I think I could have done better? The only thing I couldn't really figure out was how to get to check if there's an internet connection. I did Google it, and the only way I saw is to use a method, a class that was created by someone on the internet called reachability. I'm not sure if that's what we were supposed to do. I looked in all the guides and all the manuals for the device to see if there was a way to get it that way, but you can only get battery life and the operating system and the device name and things like that. So that is my app for week 2. I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you next week.